Hey gang, Ronin here. As you can see in this game, I'm playing the Tier 10 Pan-European destroyer Holland. I've had quite a few of these of games in this ship for some time. It's very fun to play, but this game, I'm not showing you this game because of anything in particular that the Holland did. This game, I think, is a really great example of what positioning can mean to a game. Now you'll notice on this, as I do on a lot of my destroyers, I have the radio location skill, or the radio position finder, depending upon how long you've been playing the game. And you probably saw that I was, someone was pinging me as the closest ship with their radio location. But I imagine probably the Z44, as it moved forward, became the nearest ship. And what does that tell me? Well, it tells me that probably the ship with radio location was somewhere around Charlie 8, somewhere like that. And why do I say that? Well, you can imagine that there's a ship somewhere up that direction with radio location skill, and it had me as the closest ship. So maybe it was at Charlie 7, because I was ahead of the Kronstadt and the Alaska and the Montana and the Yuma. But I sat here for a few seconds, right? And then suddenly I wasn't showing that I had been radio located. And the Z44, which you can see over there just shy of the Charlie cap, he had been moving north, and I think he probably was then the nearest ship to whatever red ship has the radio position finder or radio location. And then you just draw a triangle between where my ship was, where the Z44 was, and where it makes sense for the ship with radio location to be. I hope that makes some sense. Now, why am I pinging here? Because there's something there. And I don't know whether it's farther away and headed for Alpha or whether it's close. So I am going to use the island here to come to a stop really quickly, and then I'm going to try and turn my ship around. Now, why am I turning my ship around? Well, I've already got my torpedoes away, so I don't have to worry about where they're going. And rather than slowing down, which takes a long time, I'm just going to run right into the island, which stops me. And then I can do my wiggling back and forth here to just try and inch the tail end of the ship into the cap. Because if, as it looks like on the minimap right now, if whatever destroyer I was showing as, the nearest ship that was to the northwest of the Bravo cap is headed for A, well, then I'll be able to secure this cap. Now, it's highly likely that if I do, and it's, say, the Halland, that I will see torpedoes come across. So I want to make sure I protect myself as much as possible. So I am going to just sit right here, and I'm protected. See where the Halland is on the minimap. If it threw torpedoes this way, I'm pretty well protected. I've got an island between me and him. Now, positioning. I mentioned positioning at the beginning. The Z44, he pushed way too far forward, and he got hydroed by the Schlieffen. Now, I put my torpedoes where they are right now in anticipation of the Schlieffen doing what he's doing, which was pushing forward, trying to catch a DD, and he did. But he's going to pay for that. And I don't have to go anywhere. I can just sit right where I am. That's one hit, 2 hits on the Schlieffen. Now our Pommern has pushed up into the Alpha cap, and he's sitting behind an island. Marceau, I imagine he ran down that way to get torpedoes on the Pommern. And now I have the Bravo cap, and I'm just going to decide, do I want to stay where I am? Do I want to... No, I am going to back up a little bit. I want to try and get another set of torpedoes on the Schlieffen. Now I'm counting on him slowing down. I don't think that he's going to want to push into that big crowd down there, Alaska, Kurfürst, and Albemarle. So I'm going to place these torpedoes where I think he's probably going to slow down. And if I'm right, he's going to get sunk. And you can see he's already taking a lot of fire. Even our Montana just made a big shot across the map. Didn't do much, but yeah, and he is slowing down. So even if he's got hydro up as fast as these torpedoes go, and you can see that destroyer, it sank just in time to get out of the way of the torpedoes. I was very careful to make sure that all my torpedoes would be able to get around that island. Our Pommern burns down the Colombo, and I catch the Schlieffen again, and he's gone. Now, I know there's a destroyer, the Fletcher. He's back there in that corner of the Charlie Cap. 4 ships back there, 2 of them radar boats. Excuse me, 3 of them radar boats. So I don't want to push too close, but I see an opportunity here to push north. If I push north, then they have to angle against my torpedoes, which might get them to show broadside to the Kurfürst or the Kronstadt or the Alaska. So I'm going to do it. The bad guys have 2 caps right now. We have a points lead, but that's because we're 1 ship ahead. Now, I've started firing here because there's smoke between me and the Fletcher. Now, he's visible because someone else has him lit up. And I'm just going to try and do some ship damage. Now, it's not easy. At 10 kilometers, these shells are not what I would call laser beams. It's not like a Russian destroyer. All right, so he's gone dark, and it's time for me to do what I said. I'm going to push north. Now, I'm going to throw these out there just in case the Fletcher decides, or for that matter, the Cleveland, but it's really hard to imagine a cruiser would push up. In case the Fletcher decides to push back into that cap or in that area to get torpedoes on somebody. And having run north, I'm going to do that as quickly as possible and try and get around this corner up here. Now, I'm a little bit concerned because I think Marceau's probably, you can see Marceau there, he's now at Delta 4. I'm a little concerned that he's going to come this way. And the only help I have here in the middle right now is Kronstadt. Asacio's guns are decent, and I do catch somebody, I think probably the Fletcher. You can see I'm pinging the Riga, hoping that our teammates over there will finish him off. The bad guys are down 4 ships, we're down 3 ships. But in terms of positioning, I like how we're sitting right now, and the Riga does get sunk. And now the game is looking really good. Now Marceau has a lot of HP, and French destroyers, it's harder to do damage to them. And this ship does not have what I would call especially powerful guns anyway, so I'm really hoping for some help from the Kronstadt. Because I do think the Marceau is going to head this way. I'm going to throw torpedoes out here in case he decides to get a torpedo launch on the Kronstadt. And now I'm expecting the Fletcher to come this way. And where I'm at right now, okay, Marceau did turn and he's headed north. Where I'm at right now, they don't have any reason to suspect that I'm here. I just have to finish off this Fletcher. You can see that he's coming to a stop. I think that's probably going to do it. And down he goes. Now the Marceau's got me detected. I'm going to try and use the rear guns. Nope, don't even have to. Our Takao takes out the Marceau. The bad guys are down to 5 ships. Now Marceau and Fletcher together, we're in a position to really put some heat on our Kronstadt. But by being where I'm at, pushing this far north, they both kind of had to help deal with me, and both of them got sunk. Now at this point, the game is pretty much all over. I don't really have a whole lot I have to worry about here, and I could open up the guns knowing that I'd probably be fine. I did have Kronstadt help. Zakao was able to finish him off, so he was helping. Azuma's back there. At this point, I'm looking at, well, this is just like taking candy from a baby. Missouri's going to try and push south to get together with his friends, I think. He's trying to get guns on Kronstadt or Kurfürst, and I think he's going to traverse this gap. And even though he probably knows that I'm here, our Kurfürst blaps the Otago, he's not going to come this way, right? I mean, he's not going to turn this way. He'd be showing broadside to too many ships if he turned this way. So I'm just going to use this island that's kind of off to my starboard side, and I can get close. I don't want to get so close that Cleveland can radar me right now, but that Missouri's in big trouble. He's at 59,000 plus, and he just got blapped. That's kill number 3, and now I can help with the Cleveland. 12 seconds till torps are back up. I'll just run south here and see whether I can get torpedoes on the Cleveland. So, positioning. I pushed through the middle. Now that's not often it's not often that I would say that is a good idea. But in this case, given the situation, I think it made sense. And it caused some people to have to pay attention to where I was and react to that, which put them at bad angles or in bad positions to the rest of my team. This is going to end really abruptly. That Moskva, he's just saying to heck with it and running straight in. So I'll say I hope you enjoyed this. It was fun to play, even though it was a severe beatdown on the red team. And I think it does illustrate the importance of not only positioning, although I think that's probably the most important thing, but also seizing opportunity when you see it. Now, sometimes it'll pay off, sometimes it won't. In this case, I think it did. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.